Hi, welcome to Establishing Breastfeeding at Ashford. My name's Virginia, and in this video I plan to go through the most commonly asked questions associated with establishing your breastfeeding. You're having your babies at a time when there's so much information out there, what with Dr. Google, social media and well-meaning family and friends. You'll be pleased to know that I've taken all the information out there and I've condensed it into the evidence-based information that you need to know. Like anything you do for the first time, establishing your breastfeeding can either go really smoothly or it can be challenging, and that's why the dedicated midwives at Ashford are here to support you. Now, the World Health Organisation recommend that you breastfeed your baby within the first hour after birth. That's because your baby is at its most alert in the first hour. Your breasts have been producing colostrum since you're about 16 weeks pregnant, and we want that rich, thick colostrum to line the baby's gut as it has protective antibacterial properties that can help prevent your baby getting all sorts of infections. The other thing that the colostrum will do is start the baby's digestive process working, and that's important because baby is born with a tummy full of mucus and amniotic fluid, which we want the baby to digest as soon as possible. Now, the first feed will either be in the birthing suite or in recovery if you have a caesarean. If your baby is placed skin to skin on your chest, they'll search for the breast and your midwife will be there to support you with that priceless first feed. Babies feed for hunger, thirst and comfort, and your baby will show feeding cues when they're ready, such as starting to wake, wriggling and turning their head from side to side. Check your baby's nappy, and if it's not dirty, then don't change it until the baby has fed on the first side. This is because it's much easier to feed a calm baby when you're both learning. If baby's done a poo, then change the nappy before the feed. In the first few days until your milk comes through, you can offer both breasts per feed. Baby's tummy is tiny and the colostrum should meet all their needs. Next feed, start on the breast that you've finished on. We'll give you a feeding chart to help you keep track of all your feeds, and when you get home you can start using a feeding app like the Huckleberry app. Once your milk is through though, around about day 3 or 4, you may only want to feed the baby one breast at a time. So getting ready to feed and positioning baby, look, get yourself comfortable first. If you're sitting up in bed, try and sit up as much as possible. Make sure you've got a drink handy and that you have some privacy. Ideally feeding baby skin to skin, and if you're sitting out, you might like to use the stool provided. There are several positions to feed your baby in. This is the cross cradle position, bum in elbow, tummy to mummy. Roll the baby's shoulders in, and a 45-degree angle is ideal as no one likes to drink lying down. Just say to yourself, bum in elbow, tummy to mummy. The other position is the football hold or twin style, and this is particularly popular for first-time mums or mums with larger breasts. The same principle applies, bum in elbow and tummy to mummy. Remember correct and comfortable posture and try and keep your wrists straight. Breasts and nipples come in all different shapes and sizes, and in most cases, babies adapt. By shaping your breast though, you're allowing baby to maximise the mouthful. Quite simply, shape your breast with the same hand. If you're feeding with the right breast, shape it with the right hand. Whichever position you feed in, quite simply just shape your breast with your thumb above where the baby's nose is going to land and place your pointer finger on the breast underneath the baby's chin. It's basically sandwiching the breast, and it's easy to remember because it's almost 3 and 9 on the clock. Just remember when you're shaping your breast, there's 4 points of contact. Baby's chin, your thumb, and then both baby's cheeks need to be flush with your breast. If you're feeding twin style, the same principles apply. So you're shaping your breast above the baby's nose, below the baby's chin, and baby's cheeks need to be flush with the breast. Mouth opening for a baby is a reflex, and the only way the reflex is activated is if your baby's chin is touching your breast. I made up a little rhyme to make it easier, and that is chin to breast, nipple to nose, wait till they open their mouth and on they go. 1/3 nipple, 2/3 breast, keep it shaped and don't let go. Your thumb is your best friend when you start breastfeeding, as it keeps your breast stable at the back of the baby's mouth while they reorganise themselves. Wriggle your toes and stroke the baby's head for a minute when baby latches in the first couple of days. If it's painful after around about 30 seconds, break the baby's suction by placing your pinky in the corner of their mouth and try again. You can expect 2 sucks a second initially, and then babies slow down to 1 suck a second to a deep rhythmic suck and swallow pattern. You won't hear swallows until your milk is through though. Okay, so it's normal for babies to be fussy and unsettled after a feed. It's probably wind pain caused by air trapped in their tummy or bowel, or they have a poo to do. Now, burping babies helps release that air that they swallow during a feed, and the best time to burp a baby is between switching breasts and then after a feed. If bottle feeding, just burp baby halfway through the bottle and then at the end of the bottle. It's a good idea to have a burp cloth over your shoulder or a bib. Now, the 2 most common burping positions are either over the shoulder, so hold baby upright with their head resting on your shoulder and gently pat or rub their back. And the second position is have the baby sitting on your lap, sit baby on your lap, upright, support their chest and head with one hand and pat their back gently with the other. In the first couple of days, babies don't tend to do big burps as they are only drinking very small volumes. Don't persist for longer than 5 minutes with burping. It's best to hold babies upright for 15 minutes at the end of the feed so they don't vomit up all your hard work. And finally, you might need to be patient. Some babies burp quickly and some babies need more time. If it's not a burp, your baby may need to do a fart or a poo. In that case, just lie them on a flat surface or your lap, bring their toes up to their cheeks and do gentle clockwise circular movements with their legs to compress their gut. That'll help them to release the air or to do a poo. Well, babies are clever, and when they've had enough, they will either slow right down, stop sucking or fall asleep. We know they're getting enough by their behaviour, i.e. waking for feeds and being reasonably well settled after feeds, by their weight gain. So they'll lose up to 10% by day 3, and we'd like them to gain around 20 grams a day or 150 to 180 grams a week and be back to birth weight by about 2 weeks of age. Also by their output, so 1 wee day 1 and 6 wees in 24 hours by day 6. Their poos will go from black to mustard. Sometimes if babies are mucousy or sleepy or fussy, they aren't interested in feeding at the breast. Feeding the baby some hand express colostrum through a syringe with a gloved finger is an option. And this is a great opportunity to use the antenatal colostrum that you might have brought in with you. Only volumes up to 20 mils are acceptable for finger feeding, and finger feeding at home is not recommended. So hand expressing colostrum is reasonably easy. Just massage your breast and then squeeze your thumb and pointer finger rhythmically together to draw out the colostrum. Hand expressing is recommended if you need to express in the first 48 hours, and after 48 hours we recommend that you use a breast pump for approximately 15 minutes per breast. Babies feed for hunger, thirst and comfort around 8 to 12 times in 24 hours. It's normal for babies to cluster feed, i.e. feed frequently, when they're waiting for the milk to come through or when they're having a growth spurts. I recommend the Wonder Weeks app and the Early Years SA app, and that app's actually free. Watch your baby and not the clock. Be careful though, if baby's feeding for less than 5 minutes or more than an hour, it might indicate supply or latch issues. Be guided by your paediatrician and your midwife if you're not sure. Nature is very clever. As soon as baby's born and the placenta is delivered, your progesterone levels drop and your prolactin levels rise. And these hormonal changes take place over the first few days after the birth, and your milk usually comes in around 72 hours. Feeling teary is common and normal when your milk comes through. Try and nap and treat yourself. Your breasts might feel heavy, full and warm, and you may need to express a bit off by hand or with your haka for comfort. Regular paracetamol and a supportive breastfeeding singlet or bra will provide comfort as well. You can also place ice packs on the breasts for comfort. These are my top nipple care tips. Firstly, ring the bell and get your midwife to watch your baby latch. If painful, take baby off and try again. Your nipples should be nice and round when the baby comes off. Rub some colostrum on your nipples and air them after the feed. Put some Laser-No nipple ointment on your nipples before you cover them with your breast pad or bra. Consider using silverettes, but these need to be applied direct to skin for best effect, so avoid using nipple creams while using these, and I recommend extra large if you're using the silverettes. Nipple tenderness peaks around day 3 to day 10. You can rest your nipples and hand or pump express until they feel better. A nutrient-dense diet and plenty of fluids will help keep skin healthy. Nipple shields might be recommended. Seek advice from your midwife or lactation consultant before you use them. Place a bit of Lansino on the back of the shield or dampen it with water to help it stick. If your nipples are inverted, try and roll them out with your fingertips. Feed baby or express a minimum of 6 to 12 times in 24 hours. After 2 weeks, milk removal equals milk production. Make sure you eat a nutrient-dense diet and drink at least 3 litres of fluid in 24 hours. Approximately 30% of your energy intake goes to making milk. Aim for 2 naps a day and 6 to 8 hours of broken sleep in 24 hours. You might be prescribed Motilium or domperidone by your obstetrician or midwife to help keep up your supply. Ensure you spend as much time as you can with your baby whilst prioritising self-care as well. Skin to skin or kangaroo care is also precious. If you're expressing whilst your baby's in nursery, do so next to baby or looking at a photo of your baby. A simple process of elimination can be helpful to identify what they need. So bum, wet or dirty. Tum, hungry, thirsty or windy. Mum, wants to be held. Hot, overwrapped or overdressed. Cold, underwrapped, underdressed or the air conditioner is bothering them. Overtired, kept up through their wake window. Or overhandled by well-meaning visitors. Blocked ducts can be managed and prevented with breast massage and warm compress. Mastitis can present as a tender inflamed area on the breast, and flu-like symptoms and a temperature are also common. If you suspect mastitis, take your temperature, take some paracetamol, soften the breast with the baby or the pump, and ice the breasts. If you have a temperature over 38 degrees or the symptoms last longer than 6 hours, or if you're concerned, please seek medical advice. Discharge planning starts soon after the baby's born. The midwives will be happy to answer any questions regarding feeding, settling and equipment that you might need at home. Follow up with newborn support, your paediatrician and child and youth health. Your baby's 6-week immunisations can be done at your local council by SA Health or at your GP. One of the biggest challenges as new parents is your change in sleep patterns. However, as human mammals, thank goodness, we are designed to withstand sleep deprivation so we can rear our young. What I do advise is that you tag team and you and your partner or your support person are each other's sleep police. Also, remember there are many ways to feed a baby. You can exclusively breastfeed, you can bottle feed your breast milk, you can bottle feed your breast milk and formula, or you can exclusively formula feed. Whether or not you choose to breastfeed is not a reflection of you as a woman or a mother. Also, it's no one's business how you choose to feed your baby. You do you. Enjoy your journey. This is an incredibly special time in your life. We're here to support you and your baby, and we thank you for choosing Ashford Hospital.